Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm very delighted to be able to bring to you one of our unique members, Kai LaMadeleine. She is the CEO and Agile coach and trainer for Agile Transformers. Thank you for joining us today, Kai.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, so excited. Yeah, so excited to be able to talk to you about this industry. So I'm going to get right into some of the questions that we prepared for you today. So Kai, how did you start Agile Transformers?
Yes, thank you for asking. Just give you a quick overview of what we do. So Agile Transformer is a consulting firm. We focus on enterprise Agile transformation from end to end. And that includes Agile coaching, Agile training at various levels, from leadership to program, all the way down to team level. So just give you an overview of that. And then my background in regards to my journey, in regards to how we had started Agile Transformers, goes back to 12 years, where actually I started my career as an Agile coach and trainer. And then as I throughout the year, up to 2015, when the company was founded, I've been coaching and training at many large corporations, worked with multiple teams, and I've seen the challenges and pain points, and I help them uncover better ways of working for improvements. And I always, every day I would talk to my husband, you know what, if I have my own company, this is how I would do it. Because then I was a consultant as a contractor working under other consulting companies. So sometimes your hands are tied in regards to you're working under someone else's direction. So I would always say, I would do it this way, that way. He goes. And then 2015, we were driving. He says, Kai, you always talk about these things. Why don't you open up your own company? I was like, I didn't even think about that. So that's how Agile Transformers was founded. It came to be. And we've been pretty busy since then, even very busy now. So during the pandemic, believe it or not, we're very busy.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure that's been an exciting journey thus far. So you've mentioned corporations as an example of your clients, possibly. So can you tell us a little bit more about the type of clients you do serve, maybe the industries?
Yes, we work nationally and internationally. So the various client sectors we work with span multiple domains, including banking, financial services, mining, believe it or not, mining, retail, telecommunication, healthcare, pharmaceutical. So it does not matter what sectors are they're in. We service all, as long as there are a need to find better ways of doing their software development, looking for ways to eliminate waste in what they're doing in regards to development work. And so we service all. When there's a need, we can fulfill it despite any sectors in industry.
Interesting. So as you said, it's you have a broad spectrum of audiences that you serve, but it's the solution that you bring to the table through your organization. Yes. So then what are some of the misconceptions in Agile transformation? What is Agile transformation, to be exact?
Okay, yes, that's a great question. So let's take a look at what is Agile. So Agile basically is an iterative approach to doing your project management and software development, whereby the teams are delivering highest business value features, items to the customer, whether it's internal or external, and faster. You want to hear faster a lot, and also really reducing, eliminating waste. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And we're comparing that to waterfall, traditional type of software development, which is waterfall. That's more, you're betting on more like a big bang launch. You're doing heavy requirements at the beginning, could take months to a year without seeing any working software. Then they're doing the development work, the coding. Then that's done. That can take several months to a year. And then the testing comes in. And then finally, 2 to 3 years later, possibly, I've seen that happen, then the customer gets a chance to see it and they realize that's not what we want. And just imagine the headache and the amount of time it would take to do the rework. So with Agile, we take in consideration all those various phases, the requirements, The requirements, the development and testing are done within a very short cycle of time, within 1 to 4 weeks. All that's done, we get early feedback. If there's any changes required, they can quickly pivot and change based upon the competitive landscape. So priorities are constantly changing, whereas in waterfall, traditional waterfall, you have the contract of big requirements that don't get changed at all, even though some of those requirements can be stale by the time you get to it 2 or 3 years down the road. So again, with Agile, it's a quick way for us to deliver highest business value to the customer and getting early feedback to pivot and change.
I think that's a great, concise way to describe what it is exactly. So are those the 2 keywords to look for, Agile transformation versus waterfall?
Yes. Yes.
Side note, okay.
Yes. Thank you. And then the question you had asked was in regards to misconceptions. A lot of misconceptions, but the top ones that I want to bring up that I hear all the time are that the overarching is a silver bullet. Agile will do everything for us, in regards to how we do our software development, and that lends itself to the word faster. They think just because we're doing Agile, you're gonna go faster, right? In essence, that's the result of doing Agile is gonna go faster. But at the same time, we want to pull them back to say, you know what, there's various factors and consideration in order for you to get faster, is that we are focusing on eliminating waste. A queue of work the team are working on, what's the highest priority item to the customer that we need to be focusing on to ensure that the developers and testers are working on the right thing, right? They're focusing on the right thing, the highest value that's going to be competitive in the market and deliver value. And throughout what we call sprints, which is a time box within Agile, 1 to 4 weeks, and usually it's 2 weeks, they're going through that iterative process of developing, testing, and delivering. So within that time frame, they're not just developing and testing, they're also looking at ways to improve and eliminate waste. So looking at the value stream, looking how can we shorten the time frame of communication. Also looking of not just process, but communication. How can we lessen all these things that are bottlenecks to how we're delivering the work? Therefore, you end up going faster because you're not wasting time waiting for these lag time of communication gaps, et cetera. So we're all constantly looking at that. So therefore, you're going faster in essence. But again, it takes discipline.
Absolutely. Discipline, and sounds like this format or methodology can save a company a lot of money, essentially.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of time, they'll realize that all these things right now, even with a client right now, they're working, we realize that thing was there for 8 months. Why are you going to be working on this? They realize some of these things that the developers were working on is essential waste. We don't need that anymore. Why are we working on things that we don't need? So therefore, all the time spent on your developer and testers, focus on what's going to be most important to the customer. Don't just work on things just because you need to fill in the gap to work. So that's very key. I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you.
Great point.
Yes.
So then, right along that question and answer, then, what are some of the benefits for companies to work directly with you versus other PM consulting companies, project management consulting companies?
Thank you. Yes. So in the Agile space, there's a lot of companies, big and small, that are taking on this challenge or with this transformation for many clients. And clients, they don't have the background, so they really trust these consulting companies, especially large one with name recognition, to guide them. And unfortunately, what I've seen and heard is that they're so focused heavily on process versus looking at leadership. So the way we stand out from all the others is really our focus on the leadership transformation, more of a top-down approach. Even though the teams at the team level, they may be doing well process-wise, if you don't have the leadership mindset and support from the upstream, it's not going to be as effective. You'll get value out of it still, but you won't be as effective, and you run into roadblocks in regards to how you can become more high performing. So therefore, we really focus on the leadership team to give them the leadership training, that agile mindset, how they can be supportive of the entire team, the team level. So that's very important that we want to call out, is that the leadership training is important. And right now, believe it or not, we're through USPAACC connection. Thank you so much. We're getting some requests for proposals from government space. I won't name who right now, but it was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because of that, now that we have that certification, they're reaching out to us. It's giving us visibility and transparency. And we have the opportunity to put proposals through. And they realize that the leadership piece is missing for the Agile transformation. And we feel in that gap. And then therefore we can influence at the team level as well. So that's very important. And our approach is really, we don't do cookie cutter anything. We listen to our customer, we listen to our client through discovery, what they need, what are the goals and objectives, their vision. That help drives how we provide the roadmap to their success, which would include the training. We always say, don't just do the training, you gotta do the coaching. So we do also do the coaching, sit, side by side, hold their hands through until they feel comfortable, and then we move on. Like same time, we're very conscious of the budget. So we don't, just because it's a big company, we're not saying, oh, we could add all these extra stuff. No, we don't do that. They trust us. So therefore, we'll give them the best advice, and we're ensuring that it's stay on budget. Anything they don't need, we trim the waste. Just like we always say, we ask the team to do the same thing. So we tell them, so, you guys are doing a great job. You don't need us full time, maybe more at maintenance, maybe maintenance support type of contract where we come in as you need us. But we're always making sure that we are taking consideration their budget, and they are partners to us. We don't see them as just as customer, they're partners. They're really, we help them and are always there to support them even after we leave. We leave them with a good impression. So you know what, these guys were there for our best interests. That's how we treat them. Ethically, we have the more obligation to treat them as though they are family. And that's why they come to us, because we go above and beyond and they can trust us.
So it sounds like, well, one, congratulations with the opportunities through USPAACC. Sounds like it may be a win-win situation for both sides, with the supplier and you as a vendor. So with that, with your business potentially growing even more, I suppose hiring consultants for your end will be a project in itself. So, right? So with that, how do you hire or select your consultants?
Okay. Well, firstly, is we find a value of referrals. Just as our clients, most of those are coming from referrals. We actually have competitors referred us out to their customer, believe it or not. I'm just very surprised. And so the same thing when we look at picking or selecting our consultants. Through my 12 years of working, I've worked with many coaches that some of them have the same or assume the same value and passion as I do. And those are the people that I adhere to or are magnetized toward. And I keep them in mind. So I always reach out to them and say, hey, there's an opportunity coming up. I don't want to make sure and see if you're available to help my client. But first, before I even get into that, I sit with the client, we go through discovery, again, understand their needs and challenges, what they're trying to achieve. And based upon the skill sets required, then I reach out to the consultants. And obviously first within my own network of people that I know have worked with in the past. And if beyond that, I do, have some connection on LinkedIn and so forth, I do reach out to them directly. But again, it goes beyond the technical. It's more about soft skills. Can they inspire? Can they influence? Can they fit in within the culture of the organization? That's very important to me. Do they share the same work ethics and value as Agile Transformers? How we treat our partners, our clients, even how they treat other coaches. If we don't do interview and screening per se, when I say screening, it's really through conversation. I'd like them to walk me through what's your journey's been like as a coach. From the conversation through the journey, I can extract out their passion, their work ethics and values, and I can and also also through the scenario-based type of question, I can understand if they can actually thrive in this particular environment that I'm going to bring them into, and that they have problem-solving skills. Do they allow the team, the flexibility and innovation? Are they really strict on how they do Agile? But sometimes they do it so strict, so by the book, there's no flexibility. So all of those things will be bubbled up. I can extract that out. And that's the type of coaches that I want to work with. And always keep them in mind, because they all reach back out to me and say, "How do you have something for me?" I said, "Yes, I do, in a couple of months." But again, I look at the coach holistically, not just the technical. Technical is great to have, but if they can't really work well with the team or with the client, they get tossed out fast. So that's something that's important to me, is really the inner passion. It's not just going to work, punching the clock 9 to 5. They do it even thinking even beyond work. They're thinking how to help make it better for the team. I can sense all this through my conversation with them.
Fantastic. So for those consultants out there, I'm sure the ones who already work for you, they're in a thriving environment, thriving in an ideal environment. So with that, for some of our listeners who may want to join your team, or they may know others who may be a right fit for you, what are some of the advice you would give for future Agile coaches, Scrum Masters, or Agilists? Did I say that right?
Agilists, yes.
Who could join your team?
Well, the advice for them that do want to join our team is definitely reach out to me. And then let's have that conversation first, because my company's reputation is on the line. The clients trust me. We're getting a lot of referrals because of the way that we work, and going above and beyond and helping our clients. So the people that do want to join, we have to have that conversation first. I just have to have a feel for them. Again, just like the last question you asked, how do we pick our consultant? That goes hand in hand with how we get the coaches to join our team. And yeah, reach out to me. And I think it'll be asking me how to reach out. We'll do that at the end. Yes.
That's right. Then how about along that line, what advice would you have for those who may want to just start their own business instead?
Yes, that's a great question. And I'm mentoring 3 coaches right now that do want to take on that path, go down that path of starting their own business. What I would advise is, again, there's a lot. I mean, I say that the market is something saturated. There's a lot of companies that do Agile, but you have to be able to stand out. What makes you different than anybody else? Don't be vanilla. So what is it that you do better than anyone else that they need to come to you? Is it tooling? Is it like for us, for our differentiator is our Agile leadership training and coaching, more a top-down approach. And so therefore, look at what you do differently, and you have to have passion, because it's a lot of work that you have to put in. I mean, obviously, as you start your own business, you don't want to just give up your day job, right? Because it can take time. For us, it took us, quite a few years to get to where we are, but it does take a lot of time, nights and weekends. I've done all of that just to get to where we are. But I would say start where you are. If you are an Agile coach working through a consulting company for their direct customer, do a great job to showcase your ability, that you are someone that they can trust. And then once you get to that stage, maybe several months on the road, ask the consulting company you're working under to give you some type of some work as a sub vendor, maybe supply Agile coaches, Scrum Master. And that's how I actually got started. I was a coach for a company. I didn't ask for that. They asked me, and they didn't have the Agile practice in place. So I did a great job for them, I guess. So a great job for them. So they said, "Kai, can you recommend other coaches?" And from that conversation, I said, "Well, I would like to work as a sub vendor to supply you Agile coaches, because they trust me in regards to bringing quality coaches to them." I actually helped them expand at a big healthcare provider, big corporation. They're making millions of dollars now from all the coaches I've supplied to them. And so it's been a win-win, because I'm not greedy, in regards to the profits, et cetera. It doesn't matter, because I don't want to make sure that I'm building my business. When you first started, just know it's going to take time, and reach out to mentors as well. Maybe the circle influence you're in regards to other coaches that may have their own company, get some guidance, so that way they can navigate you through you know, avoid some of the pitfalls as well. Because when I first started, it was a bit challenging. I was trying to find my ways around, even though I knew Agile. But business-wise, I reached out to mentors like PTAC and other coaches. And that's how I was mentored. So I freely give more, freely pay it forward and mentor other coaches and Scrum Masters. So, my time is given is free, and I love the connection. And it's a lot of work out there for everybody. So I'm not greedy. So I want to share and really help others that want to do this, that are inspired, because I was given the opportunity as well. So I was grateful and thankful. So I want to do the same thing for others.
Very profound. That's fantastic, Kai. Not only are you someone great to work for, sounds like, but you would make a great mentor too. Now, then, with that said, how would we share your contact information? How would someone be able to reach out to you?
Yes, so you can, I'll just give you my email directly. I don't mind. I check it every day throughout the night and morning. So Kai, Kai, at Agile, Agile Transformers, like the movie Transformers with the S.com.
Do you have a LinkedIn company page that we can follow you?
Yes, it's basically Agile, Agile Transforms, TRANSF. I think I have a 1, Transform 1.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to be including all of the handles in the description box.
Okay, you have that. Yeah, you have that actually in my my signature, my email. You just my LinkedIn is on there too.
Yes, we're going to include all that.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much. I know we're short on time, but you've shared so much already. I'd like for us to possibly come back again and have a deeper conversation, because I feel like you have so much more to share.
Thank you.
We'll plan that sometime in the future. Thank you so much, Kai, and we'll stay in touch.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you to USPAACC for your support. Thank you.